So we're coming on over, and let's roll down and see how our spine is doing on the mat. So we're going to start by reaching the arms out and all the way up, just slowly lengthening, and start to feel the spine releasing, and bring the arms down, and let's do a few angel arms. And keep going. And the next time, we're going to start to lift our hips up. Make sure the navel is coming to the spine. And let's do a few of these, either arms out or up over the chest. If your shoulders are tight, you can make sure the arms are out in a V position. And let's do one more and keep our arms up over our head and take a few breaths. And squeeze the navel to the spine and keep lifting the hips. And then we're going to lower the back down and bring our hands behind our head. And let's lift our right knee to the left elbow. And we're going to start side to side here. Exhaling as you bring it up. And one more to each leg. And then let's reach our arms out to the side, and we're going to lengthen our knees to the right and turn our head to the left, and breathe. So you can bend the left arm and try to feel that opening in the shoulder, because we're going to be working on our shoulders a little bit more. Don't force it. You can lengthen the arm up, see what feels good. And let's go to the other side. Same thing, looking to the right. And you can feel this whole shoulder girdle from the top of the shoulder all the way down through the lats in your back, starting to open. And let's come back to the center, bring the arms down, and slowly lift up again, lift the hips up, and take another couple of breaths. And then let's bring our hips back down. So we're going to put our hands one more time behind the head and lift the knees and the chest up, and do some regular crunches and wake our belly up. If it's too much on the shoulders, or if you want to work your belly even more, cross your hands across your chest and do it this way. And we're squeezing the legs together. And one more. And let's bring our arms out again to the side and roll the shoulders down. And initially you could really feel how the back of the shoulder blades, and we're going to turn just the head to the right and then over to the left. Notice where you're feeling the stretch. And back to the center. Then we're going to put our hands on top of the shoulders, elbows on the floor, and bring the elbows toward each other. Feet are still pressing down on the mat. Now this time we're going to bring the elbows down, hands still on the shoulders, and see if you can reach the elbows up and then down. Normally we're doing this when we're sitting. Let's try this a few times. Just notice where you're feeling the stretch. And the whole lower body is stabilized. One more time. And let's release the arms back down by our sides. Lift our right leg up and lift the hips up and down. We're going to do a few. So start to work on our hips. And then let's put that down and do the other leg. Left leg up. And one more. And then down. So both legs are going to come up toward the ceiling and point and flex. And let's circle the feet. And then in the opposite direction. And then open the legs out and slowly in. So as we do this and our palms are facing up, do this a few times and notice how we're stabilizing through the lower body and the shoulder blades. They're always helping us with our balance. And then let's put our left foot down. We're going to bend our right leg in, our knee into the chest and hug the knee in, but see if you could keep the left hip down. So we're starting with this, with our hip things. And then we're going to see if we can grab whatever you can grab, maybe the ankle, maybe the foot, but we want to keep the alignment in the hips. Left hip is pressing down, right hip is pressing down. And then we're going to release that and cross the right foot over the left thigh. And we're going to lift the knee in toward the midline and then out. Putting pressure with the whole core as you're moving this, like you've got a weight on that right leg. And it's just good to see what muscles are used as we do this. And one more time. Now we're going back to that same stretch. This time maybe you can hold the foot. The left foot presses down and the right knee is coming toward the chest or the outside of your hip. And a couple more breaths and release the jaw and the neck. Really good. And let's put that foot down. And now we're going to try the other leg. First, we're lifting our left leg up. And let's see about bringing the thigh closer to the chest or closer to your outside of your leg there. And whatever you could grab just initially. So we're putting pressure in the hip. Now we're going to cross the left foot over the right thigh. And we're going to do the same thing with the thigh. So bringing it toward the midline and then out, keeping pressure the whole time. So we're isolating these muscles and they help with our balance. And a couple more. Now let's lift that left leg up again, and this time we're going to take the stretch a little deeper as the right foot presses down and the hips are pressing down. We're holding our left foot in half happy baby, releasing the neck and the jaw. And one more breath. And let's put our foot down and we're going to lift our hips up again. So we're working on our mobility here and walking the shoulder blades together and taking 3 breaths and stretching the spine. Really good. So we're going to come on down and let's roll to the side, and we're going to sit up and start by sitting cross-legged. And then twist to the right. See if you can roll the shoulders down. Feel that deeper stretch. And then let's twist to the left. So our body gets used to these stretches, as you probably know. So when you don't do them, your body doesn't feel quite as good. And let's forward fold, hinging forward from the hips. Walking our arms to the right. And then over to the left. And to the center. And let's come on up and reach the arms out and flip the palms up. Now we're going to bend the arms. We're putting pressure in the arms, keeping them in goalpost, and then out to the side and breathing. Notice we're really using our core to sit up straight. And a couple more. And see if you could put your hands, your fingers right above your ears without your hands being behind your head. We're just kind of keeping ourselves nice and tall and opening the elbows behind you just a little bit as you roll your shoulders down. It's a subtle thing. Now we're going to lean to the right, keeping that left elbow open, using our obliques. And let's come up and over to the left. Keep breathing. And back to the center, and then Santa hug. Release, hands on the top of the shoulders, and lengthen forward. And then let's come on up, and we're going to do our side stretch. Right hand down, left arm over. Feel that initial stretch. And let's go to the other side, and we're staying nice and long. Bringing the right arm over. And back to the center, and then right hand down again to the mat, and bending the left arm and putting it right on your ear. And see if you can roll the chest open. If it's too much, you don't have to do this. So instead of sinking in your right side, lift out of the arm or the forearm and roll the chest open. And then arm comes up and lift up with the arm, and we're going to do the whole thing on this other side. So as we lean over to the left, this might be different. We're going to put our right fingertips on the right ear, roll the chest open, and breathe. And then again, instead of sinking down, we're lengthening upwards. One more breath, and reaching the arm up and coming all the way up. And let's hold our hands behind us. Roll the shoulders down and take a deep breath. We're going to turn just the head to the right and bring the right ear toward the right shoulder. And one more breath. Bring the head up slowly, make sure it's slowly. And over, we're turning our head to the left. And then when you're ready, left ear toward the left shoulder. And a couple more breaths. And then back to the center. And let's bring our hands and flip the palms up on our lap and close our eyes and just feel. We've got this whole neurological system in our body. And our yoga stretches are helping to open that up, open up these channels of energy for our body. Now we're going to open our eyes and we're going to come on down to a sphinx position on our belly. So we're going to try the same thing here. As we press the forearms down, notice that we're lengthening forward with the chest, rolling the shoulders down, and then let's bring the chin toward the chest. And do that again. Head comes just neutral, but the chest comes forward and the shoulders roll down. And one more time. And let's take 3 breaths here. Breathing deeply into the belly. And then we're going to come back to a child's pose. And then let's come on up to downward dog. And take a few breaths, pressing each heel down one at a time. And let's come up on our toes as we bend the knees. Notice the shoulder blades coming together. Now we're going to walk to the top of our mat and just hang like a rag doll. Feel the weight of your head pressing down. And then let's roll up one vertebrae at a time and reach the arms out, angel arms all the way up, and lengthen. And then hands to our heart. And let's try a little balance. Right knee lifts up. And then let's put that down and left knee up. This time, left foot down. We're lifting the right knee up. If you can, our fingers are right by the ears. Elbows are wide. And then that foot comes down. We're going to lift the left knee up. And then left foot down and forward fold, just diving forward, releasing the head. And let's step all the way back, another downward dog. And forward to plank. And just hold here for a couple more breaths. And we're going to come all the way down. And let's reach our arms over our head and lengthen. So now feel how the shoulder blades roll down on your back. You can feel the lats working as you lengthen the arms. And we're going to bend our right leg and lift that leg up and down 5 times. So we're using the glutes. And then we're going to switch. Bend the left leg and lift and lower. And then let's bring our hands closer underneath our shoulders and do 5 cobras. So these don't have to be all the way up. You could do it even without your hands being on your mat. And see the difference, just kind of test yourself. And let's roll to our right hip, and we're going to lay on our right arm and put our left hand on the left hip and start those leg lifts. Just super slowly. Now we're going to put our left hand right by the ear, lifting the leg up just to get this feel here. The next time we're going to lift up toward the leg. So a little curl and then down. And just a couple more. You don't have to overdo this. Just notice what you're feeling in the shoulders. And one more time. And then reach the arm over the head and stretch. And we're going to bend the leg and see if you can hold the foot. And lift the leg up. You might not be able to lift it all the way up. You can hold your calf muscle. And then we're going to bring it back down and let's sit up on our side. And we're going to cross the left leg over the right and twist to the left. And then still sitting like this, we're going to lift this leg up. You might have to adjust the right leg a little bit, but we're going to lift the foot up and just hold so you could feel this big stretch in the left hip and the leg and the glutes. Take another breath. And everybody's different. Don't hurt your knee, just a little stretch. Now we're going to release that and go over on our left side. We're going to do this whole thing as we lay down on the left arm, right hand to the right hip, and lift the leg up and down slowly. So with what we're doing here, we're trying to connect the lower body to the upper body. So we use it correctly. We don't overuse our shoulders, but we use our core. Now we're going to put our right hand on the right ear, the right fingers. Just notice that right shoulder's rolling down, and then start to lift up toward the leg just a little bit. Lower at the same time, upper body, lower body. Just a little crunch, one more. So now stretch the arm over the head We're gonna bend the right leg and keep balancing on your left hip. Hold the hold the right leg somewhere. And one more breath. Then we're gonna bend the leg and sit up. And let's stretch this side out. So we're gonna cross our right leg over the left and twist and lengthen to the right. And then we're going to continue with the stretch. So you might have to bring out your left foot a little bit. So we're going to lift the right leg up and just this little stretch here. Notice where you're feeling it. So right glutes, one more breath. And now let's stretch our legs out on the mat. So we're going to reach the legs out, arms out to the side, and point the toes and flex the feet a few times. And then reach the arms up and let's hinge forward and release the head. We're going to take a few breaths here. And 3 more breaths. Really good. So we're going to sit cross-legged, and now we're going to use our stretchy band. So if you want to sit on your ball or block, you can, depending on your hips. But we're going to hold our stretchy band up over our head. And notice we've done all this work now for the stretchy band, or with our shoulders. So feel this as you stretch that stretchy band behind your back. If it's too much, keep your elbows bent a little. It's up to you how big of a stretch you want, but we're going to open up the whole shoulder here. So arms up over the head and in front of us. So big arm circles. The wider the arms, the easier the movement is. And we're going to do a couple more. And sitting up tall at the same time. And one more time, take your time. And we're going to reach our arms up and take our right hand down to the mat. So we're stretching the left arm like an arrow. Feel the stretch across your back. And see if you can lean farther to the right as you bend the right arm. And release the head. And then coming back up. We're going to hinge over to the left side, left hand down, right arm stretches up. And then if you can, bend the left arm a little and straighten the right even more. Notice where you're feeling the stretch. And one more breath. And we're coming back up. And let's release for a second. So that's a lot of tension in the shoulders. Just roll your shoulders up, back, and down and feel. Notice how there's more blood circulation in there, which is healing for our shoulders. And now we're going to hold our stretchy band, elbows into our side, and we do this one a lot. So opening the hands out and in as you squeeze the elbows into your sides. This is for a rotator cuff. Notice that your shoulder blades are staying down. And let's do 2 more. Really good. And then we're going to put this stretchy band down and roll the shoulders up, back and down, and just feel palms facing up, and 3 breaths. You can close your eyes. Hopefully your shoulders are feeling good. And then let's open our eyes, and we're going to make our way over to hands and knees and do a few cat-cows. And go slowly so you could feel the movement and the opening in your spine. And one more complete movement. And then we're going to bring our elbows down for puppy pose and put our hands together behind our head. And notice the rotation in your shoulders. So it might be easy for some, but it gets harder if we try to open our hands. So what we're going to do is you're going to grab your ball or your block, and luckily I have a ball so it's not as big as my block, but put that between your hands. And it's a little bit harder on the shoulder blades, so just feel that for a couple more breaths. And then we're going to release that and come down to another sphinx. And take 3 breaths. Just notice the shoulder blades. And then we're coming in our half-arm plank and lifting up, walking the legs together and extending through the heels. And then we're going to come back to our child's pose and bring our arms behind us and release the shoulders and take a few breaths. And let's sit up on our heels and twist to the right. And then twist to the left. We're going to come to the center and come up on our hands and knees. And let's come back to our down dog. And lengthen your downward dog. Kind of feel the difference now. And let's walk to the top of our mat. And come halfway up. And then forward fold. And inhale all the way up. Hands to our heart. We're going to twist the upper body to the right and then to the left, back to the center. And inhale up, and let's bring our arms in a goal post position. We're going to lift our right knee up and clap our hands and come into warrior 3, right leg back. And let's step it back for warrior 1 and arms up. And take 3 breaths. And lengthening forward, reaching forward. And then right hand down, left arm up or behind your low back. And let's bring both arms up again, back to warrior 1. Now let's step forward, and we're back into Tadasana. We're going to reach the arms up, Lift our left knee up as we come into goalpost. Clap the hands underneath there, warrior three. Left leg back. And warrior one. Arms up for 3 breaths. Now lengthen forward, really lengthen, and then left fingers down, right arm up or behind your low back. Let's come back up to our warrior one. And then we're stepping forward, back to Tadasana. Now we're gonna inhale up, exhale forward fold, and let's step back to downward dog and take 3 breaths. Now we're gonna lift the right leg up and let's step it forward for warrior two. And then reverse, left arm down and right arm up. And we're going to take the right forearm down, left arm over. And if you want to join me, reach both arms out to the right. And then right fingertips down and left arm up. And back to warrior two. We're straightening our right leg. And let's come into our wide-legged pose. Reach the arms up. And then let's bring our hands down between our legs and forward fold. And if you want to go side to side, open up the inner legs, feel free or just hold. And let's come all the way up, reaching our arms out and up. And then let's come into warrior two as we turn our left foot out. Roll the shoulders down. And then reverse, right arm down and left arm up. And we're going to come into our side angle pose. The left forearm down, right arm over. And if you want to join me, bring the left arm out also and keep lengthening. And left fingers down, and you could do it without touching. Right arm up. And then we're coming back to warrior two. And let's straighten our left leg, and we're gonna hold our hands behind us and roll the shoulders down. Let's look up and forward fold. And we're gonna take 3 breaths. And just release the arms down like a rag doll, hands down between your legs. And let's walk ourselves over to a right side lunge. And we're going to start to straighten our right leg and bend in our rocking horse. Just one more. And then we're going to walk over to the other side for our left side lunge. And do the same thing. Bend and straighten our left leg in our rocking horses. Release the head as you do it. And one more. And let's come back to the center, and we're gonna hold our ankles and take 3 breaths in our forward fold. And let's come all the way up and reach our arms out and up. Bring our hands to our heart and turn our feet out for goddess. And we're gonna lift one heel up and then the other, and keep doing that as we open and close the elbows. One more to each side. And then sink a little deeper. 2 more breaths. And let's inhale up and come back to down dog. And take 3 breaths. And let's come into another child's pose. And we're gonna roll over to the side, just so we can grab a hold of our ball or our block, and we're gonna do our Gomkasana and use our strap and our block and cross the right knee over the left knee and sit on your ball or block. We're gonna do more for our hips. And then the strap is for our shoulders. So we're gonna put the strap in our left hand and then hold it with the right hand behind our back. Or maybe you can even just, to your hands touch. But feel how the shoulders are rolling down. And if you can, we're gonna forward fold, keeping the chest long, and take 3 more breaths. And let's gently come back up. And first we're releasing the arms, and we're gonna roll the shoulders up, back, and down, and just feel that opening. And then we're gonna switch our legs. So we're gonna cross the left knee over the right knee. And you might not need a ball or block, but it really helps to stay a little bit higher. And it's not quite as hard on the hips. Everybody's different. So now we're gonna put the strap in our right hand and hold this other hand, the left hand, behind us, either fingers together or using the strap or a sock, whatever you have. And just feel that gentle opening. And if you want a little bit more, we're gonna hinge forward and breathe and take 3 more breaths. And then coming back up slowly, let's release the strap. And again, we're gonna roll the shoulders up, back, and down, and take a deep breath. And then we're gonna come back to hands and knees. And let's stretch ourselves up for another downward dog. And just feel. Take 3 breaths. And we're gonna walk to the top of our mat. And hang, and let's hold our elbows. And we're gonna come all the way up, reaching the arms out and up and lengthening up, and hands to our heart. And let's take 3 breaths here. Notice your posture. We're going to bring our arms down just by our sides and feel. Notice the complete breath in your belly and your mid-chest and upper chest. And notice how your feet are pressing down into the mat like a mountain. Now we're going to come down in our squat, and let's see how our back feels. And take a few breaths. So if you need something under your heels to help the Achilles and your hips, let's take a few breaths in our squat. And then we're going to roll down on our back, and we're going to come into our happy baby. And just close your eyes and breathe. Feel how the head is pressing down into your mat. And let's take 3 more breaths. And we're going to put our feet down on the mat and slowly lift the hips up, just like how we started in our Setu Bandha. Notice the shoulder blades pressing down. Breathe into the belly for 2 more breaths. And then lower the hips back down slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. Feel that connection with your spine and the mat. Now we're going to walk our legs together and cross our right knee over the left knee and roll the legs over to the left for our spinal twist. And feel our right shoulder blade rolling down, and breathe. And a couple more slow breaths. And let's make our way back to the center and uncross. And take a breath. And we're going to cross our left knee over the right and roll the legs over to the right. And then again, notice the left shoulder blade rolling down, and breathe. And notice with each exhale how your body lengthens. And 1 more breath. And let's come back to the center and uncross. And now we're going to lift our hips up again. Another Setu Bandha. And walk the arms closer together, the shoulder blades. Lift the hips even higher and take 3 breaths. Now let's slide our ball or our block underneath our sacrum and just feel how that pressure is coming in and we're held by that block or ball. Notice the shoulders are still rolling down, so we have space between our ears. And let's take 5 breaths here. Feel your body starting to release any residual tension. And now we're going to lift our legs up in Viparita Karani and drain our legs. And feel the difference in your body as your legs and feet drain. More energy for your heart, makes it easier for your heart to pump. More blood flow for our brain and endocrine system. And we're resetting ourselves as we softly breathe in and breathe out. And as you're breathing in and breathing out, we're also wishing good health and peace to ourselves, to our families, and to all of our fellow brothers and sisters everywhere, and peace for our world. And we're going to bend our legs and put our feet back on the mat. And let's slowly lift our hips up. We're going to remove the ball or block and bring our hips down and gently roll to the side. And let's come on up to a seated position and bring our hands to our heart and seal in our practice today together. Let's take a deep inhale and sigh. One more time. Namaste. Thank you, ladies, for coming today. I hope you have a lovely day. It's a beautiful one out there, and see you guys soon.
That was excellent, Marianne. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you
glad.
so much.